Yes. All right, all right. 4 minutes and counting. 4:15. STK Live. Share the knowledge. DJ Q&A. Ask me anything DJ related. Well, you know what it is. DJ related, production related, live streaming related, all of that. Couple of minutes, and then we're gonna get it in. STK Live Wednesday. 8:10 p.m. Amsterdam time. Let's go. Let's go. I'm here. See y'all in a couple of minutes. Countdown has begun. I'll be with y'all soon. Soon. RC3, Mario, salute. I see y'all. I'll be with y'all in a minute. Yes, almost there. 1 minute. Snow Dog, what's going on? DJ Waves, what up? Don True, what's going on? K. Sean, I see you. All right, let's open that back up. We almost there. Yes, indeed. Mad Live in the building. Salute. Oh, one more thing. Hold up. Yes. All right. Live now. So let's go. Here we are. Let me make this a little bit larger. There you go. All right, good evening. Well, might be good morning, good afternoon to y'all. Garv, what's going on? Uptown, Mealy, Divshan, What's up? What's up? What's up? And Snow Dog getting ready to film another YouTube video tonight. Cool. Yeah. So again, I know for some of y'all it's like early in the morning. Not early in the morning, like late in the morning. For some of y'all, it's evening, might be nighttime. So salute to all of you from all over the globe. I see y'all. And welcome to STK Live, Share the Knowledge Live. Ask me anything DJ related. Big Dooley in the building. Salute to you. And that's my DJ. That's my DJ. What up? What up? Smooth J, Jers Mike, Fizz, Right Entertainment. Salute, salute. What's my work schedule like? What you mean, like DJing? DJ schedule is zero. Nothing going on there. So no DJ work. RC3 tuning in from school. Pay attention though. So yeah, the DJ wise, nothing happening yet. I think my first gig, my first DJ gig, I think is going to be in September. I mean, I have a booking in September. Might be something else happening before that time. But no bookings yet. Timbuktu, what's going on? Waves. I pay attention to school. I mean, wait, most disrespectful. Let me see. Was that the question? What do you find the most disrespectful thing to the art of DJing? Woo! Wow. I have to think about that. No, I don't know. Maybe I'll think of something. I mean, there's bound to be things, but I don't know right now. MIDI, no, that's definitely not a Stream Deck. This is my Rødecaster Pro. So that's a podcast production unit. It's a mixer. It's a recorder. It does a bunch of things in one. So you can connect your microphones. You can trigger samples. Connect the phone to speak with people. Have them tune in as guests. Really for podcasting. It has onboard recording, onboard processing. But they just added an update, so now it has MIDI functionality. So I'm actually using it now in the same way you can use a Stream Deck. So what I can do now is the same buttons you can use to trigger samples, I can now use to switch scenes in OBS. So for instance, I'm in this screen and I can just hit a button and now we're in this screen. So that is a really cool upgrade. And I have to salute Røde. They're doing like crazy upgrades to their existing stuff. A lot of cool stuff going on there. So yeah, I'm basically using it in the same way now. And it's also, my mic is connected to the Rødecaster Pro. So I'm using it for my audio. Mixmaster G, goedenavond. And no, RC3, no word on the Saturday Super Session Part 9. That's not happening anytime soon. Let me just stick to this window for now. DJs that sit down is the most disrespectful. Mad Live says. So you mean a DJ who does a set while sitting? No, I could care less. I think I could care less about that. I wouldn't view that as disrespectful if a DJ is not standing and sitting, depending on how the DJ is rocking it. If the set is like lazy too or not that exciting and the DJ is sitting, yeah, then it just looks like the DJ is not putting in any effort. But if a DJ can rock the crowd while sitting, I wouldn't care. Yes, no dog. That Rødecaster is a beast. I love it. I love it. Do you know about Latin freestyle and booty bass? Latin freestyle, no. Booty bass, yeah. Content for my schedule for content creation. A little bit all over the place. I'm getting adjusted now. So I had a schedule the way I wanted to work this year, but then we got hit with a second lockdown. I had to homeschool the kids, and that really changed everything up. Because for a lot of my planning, I would have days where I would like take the kids to school, or at least the youngest one. The oldest one might go on his own, but take them to school, then go to the studio, work until a specific time, then pick up my kid. And I had to really change that because now all of a sudden you have the kids at home. You have to pay attention. They're homeschooling, but you have to help out, stuff like that. So now that school's opened up again, I'm kind of adjusting my schedule, trying to spend a bunch of days a week in the studio to record stuff. I'm in here like 3-4 times a week for the streaming, etc., etc. So can't give you a complete schedule here, but I'm trying to plan as much as possible. Yeah, MIDI, that works too. I mean, and there's also a Stream Deck app you could also use on a phone as well. But there's multiple ways to do it. Of course, you can try different MIDI controllers to use it. I just like the fact that I can now also use this, but I'm gonna try with different devices as well. DJ Leo, what's going on from Colombia? Are you gonna upgrade to Serato 2.5? I think I've been on that for a month or so now. Now, when I first did the upgrade, it was still when it was the beta version. My DJ laptop could not handle it, and I had like some issues, while the studio computer had no issues. And for instance, last Friday I did a live stream, my Certified Bangers, where I was just playing like DMX features. That was using the studio computer as my DJ computer, running the beta version of Serato 2.5 with the latest version of Phase, using it wireless, no RCA connected. Worked perfectly, like no issues at all. So that was really a laptop issue and not a computer issue. Sorry, but yeah. So of course I'm upgrading. Can I use an Akai pad on OBS? Should be possible, I think. Yeah. So right now, when you have the Rødecaster Pro and you update it to the latest version, you basically use it in a combination with a little app called MIDI Key to Key. And in that little app, you basically set it up. Hold up, let me see if I can bring that in. Let me see if we go here, because it is open. Yeah, there we are. So that's just a little app, and it basically it receives the information from the Rødecaster Pro, and it's set to trigger hotkeys in OBS. But I assume you can use a lot of different MIDI devices to do the same thing. So yeah, that should work. No, that's not where I want to be. Let's see. Yeah. How do you feel about Rekordbox? Really prefer it over Serato. Rekordbox is dope. I've the especially when it comes to like music management, there's so much you can do in Rekordbox when it comes to like tagging your files, the extra information you can put in there, ways to find music, to put it together, to make playlists. So I'm actually going to work a lot more with it. I've been using it for quite some time whenever I used equipment that needed to use Rekordbox, and sometimes when I had to like prepare a show to do shows on CDJs. But Serato was still my main software. But I really like Rekordbox, indeed. Hey, Enya, what's going on? And DJ Cruz in the building. No, I'm not on Big Sur because I'm not on Mac right now. So strictly Windows at the moment. Mac will return, but for now, I'm not on a Mac. But a lot of things are starting to work with not just Big Sur, but also with the M1. I see more and more software companies like releasing updates like, hey, it's working now. Felix, what up? Is Rekordbox as flexible as Serato? For example, would you be able to connect the Pioneer controller to Record? That's what it's for. Like the Pioneer controllers work with Rekordbox DJ. Yes. Sorry. Hold up. A Pioneer controller. No, I mean, some controllers they have are specifically for Serato. They have a lot of controllers that are for Rekordbox as well. And some will work with everything. So I think that depends. I do believe some might be specific for Serato. So for instance, I have a 1000 SRT here That's a Serato version because the normal 1000 is the Rekordbox version. But yeah, is there a way to increase tempo percentage on the S7? Like on the DDJ 1000, how can you go plus 50? No, I don't think so because the S7 is just the mixer. That would be something you would have to change on the actual player. So what are you using your S7 with? What type of players? Turntables? Yeah, because that's where you would change that. Like for instance, I have different turntables. With some of the turntables, you can also adjust that tempo range. Or for instance, like with the Rain 12s that I was using in the last stream, you can adjust that tempo range as well, right? Or am I mistaken now? So for instance, I have the VL12s right next to me, and the VL12s have a little buttons underneath the pitch slider that can go +8, +16, or +50. Rain 12 does the same. So that's not something you will change on your mixer. That's something that you have to change on the players. So if you're on turntables and you're, for instance, you're on Technics SL1200s, then you're out of luck. They don't have that. But a lot of newer turntables will have that option. Ryan, best laptop in your opinion for DJing? Plenty of laptops will work just fine. Just make sure the specifications are up to par. And if it's going to be a laptop for DJing, so meaning you're going to take it on the road, you want to look at build quality as well. So you can find like cheap Windows laptops that will fit when it comes to specifications. But if they're built out of like some cheap plastic, you will notice that after you carry them around for a while. I have that experience with a Windows laptop that I had earlier. And like performance wise, it worked great. But I did notice that like after a year of like using it, touring, doing gigs, when I open it up, the hinge is kind of broken and stuff that doesn't happen on laptops with better build quality. So of course I see Mac Pro being mentioned. Yeah, they'll work great. Then again, a lot of other laptops will work great as well. And you have a lot of laptops with good build quality. No, still haven't tried the Rain 1. Still haven't been to stores where it's at, so no. If you don't have an acapella, version of any songs, is there a way to get the acapella from a normal? Yeah, you can now. In certain DJ software, you can do it, and there's also separate software. So, for instance, I do it using RX8 by iZotope. They have a feature in there that allows you to take out a lot of frequencies and just leave you with either the beat or the vocals. It doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds pretty good. So iZotope RX8 can do that. And you can do it in DJ by algorithm and in virtual DJ as well. But if you do it on RX8, you can do it and then render the file as like an acapella or an instrumental. Quick question. When I open Rekordbox, I just need to wait 1 minute to just open the app. Is it normal? I've updated the Rekordbox on its latest update. Rekordbox takes a minute to open. I have the same experience here. Yeah. It's not like if I double click, it's like bang. It normally takes a second. Best way to clear lag from your live streaming. So what type of lag? Like between audio and the camera? Because if that's the case, then there are different ways to do it. Like in OBS, for instance, you can adjust the sync offset, and that will allow you to add a couple of milliseconds or take some off. I remember like a week ago, I was streaming. Someone was telling me that my mic was not in sync with the video, and then I just changed that a little bit in the sync offset in OBS, and that definitely seemed to work. I also know on the Rødecaster, not on the Rødecaster, on my A10 Mini Pro, I can do the same thing in the settings. I can also change that, offset that sync a little bit. So that is a way to do it in OBS. Take a look at, just go to the advanced audio properties, and then you should see sync offset. Yeah, I don't know how hard or easy it is. I know last time I adjusted it a bit because people were telling me that there was a little bit of a sync issue, and that solved it straight away. So I just went up. I think I went way up or way down, one of the two, and that seemed to work. I love turntables, but when I DJ on a controller, I don't feel much energy when I do tricks and stuff. But when I do stuff on a turntable, I'm going off. Well, I think I understand what you're saying. Like, look, a turntable is it's moving. It's moving. So you're actually controlling something with a motorized platter, so you feel the movement. So that is a different experience compared to just having like a flat surface, like a jog wheel that doesn't move with, or that has no movement on its own. So the feeling and experience is different. So Mixmaster G, when you do the clap test before you go live, so what are you doing at that time? So are you looking at your screen? So you're in OBS and you just look at your screen and do that? Or do you have a different, or do you do it in something else, the clap test? That will be interesting to know. TLM, top 3 most frequently used effects when DJing. Echo. Echo. Yeah, echo, and after that, the high pass filter. I think that's the ones I use. That's the only ones I basically use, unless I really want to do more. But that hardly ever happens. So yeah, echo and EQ, and sometimes the high pass filter. Twitch Studio, smooth, K Smooth. I don't know. I just haven't done a lot in Twitch. I just found out what I needed to know and haven't spent a lot of time just working on Twitch. First off, I was just streaming from the A10 Pro. Now I'm just streaming from OBS, and I hardly spend any time in Twitch. But I want to spend more time to experiment there too. In trouble. See, RC3. All right, man. See you next time. K-Show, no, I have no idea. With those NS7.2 issues, I don't know. Anything embarrassing happen in your career? Yeah, sure. I mean, if we're talking about like DJing, I've been through the regular mistakes that we tend to make. Sean Swift, what up? I see you. Salute. Road Dog, what up? And yes, I see your question. I'm gonna get to that. So like the classic mistakes, like for instance, where you're playing with vinyl, you want to switch to the next record and you grab the needle of the record that's currently playing. So now all the music is gone, stuff like that. In digital times, loading a track into the deck that was already playing. So things that make the entire crowd shock and look at you. Stuff like that. I don't know if I've done like other things that I would consider to be embarrassing. So I'm not sure. Samson Kennedy, what's going on? Salute to you. Yeah, so Road Dog had that question. If I ever make playlists or before an event, or do you freestyle? So here's the thing. Like creating a playlist for like a gig, a normal DJ gig, I never do that. Simply because I just want to be free to go in whatever direction I feel like going. Now, do I prepare and, for instance, go through music and put music in a folder for a gig? Yeah. But that's not going to be a playlist. That's going to be a selection of songs. So do I select? Yes, I do that sometimes, especially now with the live streams. Like if I have crates on Monday, and I do, I will before I go on, the day before, 2 days before, sometimes on the day, I will go through some folders, and if I find a bunch of tracks that I feel like, hey, I might want to play those, I'll put them in a folder. And then I freestyle the gig. Yeah. Let's see. Mixmaster G. Setup is the OBS computer, upstream computer connected over NDI. Then I watch the stream on a different laptop, clap my hand, and adjust the audio offset and in OBS accordingly. All right. But wait, because Mixmaster G, you said you tested before you go live, but if you haven't gone live yet, how can you see the stream on the other laptop already? That's what I would like to know. Like, I understand, like, I've done that. Like, I go live, and sometimes I'll just log into Twitch and open it up just to see, like, okay, is the audio on? That type of stuff, but not actually on a different computer before, because that's what you said. You said you do the clap test before you go live. So that's interesting. I want to know how you do that. Like, once I go live, I can go check. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. In Restream, you can see the stream live without. Sure, I got you. Yes. So in OBS, basically, you start your stream to Restream, but then in your Restream window, you just don't open that yet. And actually, I can show. I'll show that to Mealy for a second. Well, why is my keyframe interval 8 instead of 2? Whoa. Why is that? Okay, whatever. Let me just go here. Okay, Mealy, got you. So I didn't know if you were familiar with Restream. That was more the thing. But if you are familiar, then you already know what it looks like. Got you. Why is this so big, and why is that all the way over there? That is not what it's supposed to do. I just wanted to put it in here. Yeah. So for the people who don't know, like, this is the Restream window, and in that window, over here, you can see which platforms are on, but you can start your stream with everything off and then send them there. Oh yeah, for the people watching right now I'm using this one, YouTube, DJ TLM TV. Now for the streams on Monday, the music streams, I'm using my other YouTube platform. And they took my stream down again on Monday. And right here, if you can see that, it's a little bit small. YouTube, my DJ TLM channel. This channel is not in good standing. Streaming may be unavailable. And yes, that is the case. I received another email from YouTube. And I cannot upload or live stream to that YouTube channel for a week now. So that is the exact reason why I did not want to do music live streams on DJ TLM TV, because I'm not going to risk this channel. Like, no way. And this is exactly why. I don't want to have any type of non-good standings with this channel. And I think this is the second time I received this email. So they already told me, like, if it happens 3 times, they reserve the right to delete that channel. So yeah, I'm actually reconsidering if I'm even going to use YouTube, my old channel, for the streams anymore. Even though it is my old channel, there's still stuff on there that I wouldn't want to lose. So yeah, I might just restrict it to Mixcloud and Twitch. That's the only issue. I need to make sure my YouTube people come join me. And I still see a lot of people that somehow think it's too much work to switch platforms to watch streams that they want to watch. Like, I've seen it happen a lot. Like, people will tell me, like, hey, YouTube is down again. And then you're like, hey, we're still doing fine on Mixcloud and Twitch. And then they'll say, yeah, but I don't have Twitch. I'm like, It literally takes a couple of seconds to make a Twitch or Mixcloud account. So if you have streams that you want to watch, and anytime you watch on YouTube, there's always issues. Why not just have that account on Mixcloud or Twitch so you can watch live streams without any interruptions and issues? I don't know. Seems like it's a little bit of effort, you know. We make accounts for all sorts of apps all day long, so why not make an account on a platform that will allow you to just check the stream, you know? Mixcloud, great quality, good stream. Twitch, great quality, good stream, great community. So yeah, so even if you're watching on YouTube now, just have that account there. I'm probably not the only one. I mean, there's a lot of DJs on those platforms that are streaming there. Yeah. So for instance, coming Monday, I can't even probably stream on my old YouTube channel because I can't stream there for a week. So yep. Is what it is. Zay Roxy, what up? I see you. Salam. Yes. Last question. Have you ever traveled to the state in the past for DJ gigs? If so, what cities? I DJed in Philly back in '98. And yeah, hopefully in the future I'll be back to do a gig or some gigs. I'd love to try check out different places. Let's see. Okay. So wait, is Xeroxy, you're following, and then the first thing you want to do after that is talk like that? Yeah. Not really gonna go for that, homie. So let me just see what platform you are on. That's Twitch. Okay. So it was nice seeing you in the chat, but you won't be here for much longer. Hey, J Triple, what's going on? You can always leave your YouTube for Share the Knowledge. Now, I mean, look, I'm streaming on DJ TLM TV right now, and that channel is still here, will remain here, and I'm going to use that for my normal content and streams like this. I decided to not stream music on YouTube anymore. And then at a certain point, I decided, like, hey, wait a minute, I can actually use my my old channel for the streams. That way I won't risk my new channel. But in this case, I mean, I have no interest in losing my old channel either. So now that I've received the warnings and they're telling me I'm not in good standing anymore, I might just have to just leave the music streams to the other platforms. Let's see. Where are you? Bye-bye. There we go. Yeah, that should be it. Had to do a quick little delete. It's still showing up on screen here, but yeah. Gone. RC3 is back on a school break right now. Yes. So Road Dogg, yes, I hope to go back to the States indeed. It's been too long. My last time in the States was 2004. So it's been a long time. Sko Joe, what up? All right, let me scroll back up. I probably missed a bunch of questions. Let's see. I saw another Rain 1 question. And I still haven't tried Rain 1, so I can't give you an opinion on that. And I saw another laptop question, and we were just talking about that earlier. Laptops for DJing, like, come on. Anything that has the right specifications and has good build quality will do just fine for DJing. So there's a lot of options. Parker. Moose Bin Sound, what up? And Parker has a question. Do you drink during the sets or stay sober? I don't drink, so I don't drink during my sets. Now, let me rephrase. I hardly ever drink. So I won't say never, but hardly ever. And when I do, it's just that little bit, but never during DJing. So sober. Have you ever thought about moving to the States? Only when I was really young and didn't know anything about the States yet. Um, so no, I would I would not want to move to the States. Once I was there, once I experienced it, um, that was a great feeling. I mean, I'm hip hop to the bone, and I got to go to Philly, got to go to New York, and you can just smell the hip hop in the air, especially then in the late '90s. But it was also pretty clear to me like it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. Um, so that's no disrespect to any of my U.S. followers, and I know there's a lot of you. A lot of the things are just better here when it comes to living quality here in the Netherlands. Uh, um, yeah, we're taken care of better here compared to there. I've seen how it goes when you're in the States, and if, for instance, if you don't have the right insurance, how messed up it can be. I don't have to have the same level of fear when it comes to law enforcement over here. I mean, we have our own issues with racism, but nothing compared to what it's like over there. Yeah. And Mixmaster G, yeah, we're spoiled with Amsterdam. Yeah, but that's the case. Like I mean, there's plenty of places in the world I haven't been, but I've been around the world, and it broadens your vision. But you also realize, like, hey, a lot of things are just really good over here. You know. Um, um, so yeah. Um, even if we're talking about something else, climate. Uh, this is not the warmest place here if you look at the weather in the Netherlands, but like we hardly have to worry about earthquakes, tornadoes, any stuff like that, hurricanes. Yeah, we really don't have anything of that massive type of level of events over here either. No poisonous animals either. I mean, yeah, we can go on and on, but I mean, I love the States. I want to go back, but there's a lot of things that I just really, really, really love over here. Is it harder to get into the scene in Europe? I don't know because I can't compare. I can only speak for my own experience. I was born and raised in Amsterdam. I have a career here. I've been outside the city, outside the country, but I have no idea how it is to build a career in different places. So for me, that's really hard to say. That's why it's important to talk to other DJs from other places that can share their experience and let you know how it went there. You know, Russell Hayes, what up? What up? What up? All is good over here. So for the chat, by the way, since we received that question about drinking on the job or DJing sober, what do y'all do? Are you sober when you play, or do you drink or smoke before or while DJing? Because I've seen plenty of DJs drink on the job, and in some cases that did not work out very well. You could just tell. I know plenty of smokers, some who I know are just high as a kite when they play, and it works for them. So, yeah, let me know. What do you do? And Extreme Live, I have not been to Canada, and that is definitely on my list. So I don't know. Once this is all a little bit more back to normal, I have to talk to Scratch Bastard and see what's happening over there. Yeah, hype man. I mean, I've seen DJs train wreck because they were just too far gone, you know? And I mean, that's the thing. I understand that to a certain degree, you feel the energy of nightlife. And if you're normally used to uh, um, uh, drinking or whatever during nightlife, you might want to do that too. But I think some DJs forget that you're actually there to do a job. So, I mean, there's basically no other job where you could show up and just drink and smoke all day. Almost no job. So yeah, I understand like backyard parties, if you're having like a barbecue with family and friends and you're into like drinking your beers and whatever, of course. I wouldn't consider that a job. That's just having fun with the fam, you know? Yep. And also, it's not just about, especially nowadays, it's not just about how you would perform as a DJ when it comes to like substance abuse, let's say. It's not just about your performance as a DJ and Queen Caesar was good, like staying professional, but also to make sure that your overall conduct is on point and that you know exactly what you're doing outside of playing, how you're interacting with people. Maybe if you're a guy and girls walk up to you, that you know exactly, your mind is sharp. You know exactly what you do and what you don't do. When you're intoxicated, you might get a little bit too familiar, too loose. You might do stupid things that could cost you gigs, you know? I don't think that's, yeah, I don't think you want that. Mac Joseph. Yeah, that's a good one, though. Depends on the gig. Knowing your limits is important. Yeah, knowing your limits is important, of course. Of course. And that's, I mean, I would never judge anyone for doing what they do because you should know yourself and know what works. Like if you know that you can have your beer, and I know plenty of DJs who will have like a beer or two and you won't notice a thing, you know? But there's a difference between that and other DJs that I've seen that are basically like wobbling behind their decks while they have their bottle of Jack right next to them. Like, that doesn't look like it's a good idea. Let's see. Can one get all your videos on how to scratch for beginners? Is there a link to get them all? Yeah, on my channel, on DJ TLM TV on YouTube, I just have a playlist. That's the scratch tutorial playlist. And that has video 1 to 7 all together in one place. So that's the way to go. All right, Parker. Dope. That's dope. I love it. I love that. Those are the stories, man. I mean, I appreciate you telling, you sharing, but I love to see that. That's dope. I have a drink too. Keep a level head. Dealing with clients. Yeah, like I said, like how you conduct yourself, you know? Drinking, smoking, it all will have an influence on how you conduct yourself. And I don't know, man. I mean, I see some people when they drink or smoke a little bit too much, they'll get too comfortable. You might say some stuff to the wrong people, and I don't even mean it in a way that it'll get you in danger, but just like maybe you say some stupid stuff to the promoter or the owner, and then it costs you gigs. You know, man. J Triple 7 for 7 years. I like that. Yep. Friedland, I see a few minutes ago on Rødecaster, the OBS. It's a software, the MIDI Rødecaster, the OBS. Yeah, that's the Rødecaster right here. And this is me using it to switch scenes in OBS. So yes, with the latest update, you can do that. And you can go from your start screen to like whatever you put in. So in OBS, you just make hotkeys to switch scenes. And then with the little program that I just showed a little bit earlier, the MIDI key to MIDI, it's a little program that allows you to set up to allow certain buttons to basically trigger those hotkeys in OBS. So yeah, that works well. I mean, the only thing I don't really like is I do have to open that MIDI to MIDI key app when I want to use this. I prefer to have it just be a separate device that I don't have to open apps and anything like that. But for now, I'm not complaining. But I will be experimenting with different devices as well, because I have some other smaller MIDI devices here, which would be more convenient compared to this big boy right here. Snow Dog. Yes. Set up for the next video. What's the next video about? Your next YouTube video. Or is it a live stream? Collector Ski, what up? Do you think it's appropriate to say I'll work it in when someone makes a request, even if you have no intention of playing the song? I don't know how many times I've done something similar to that. So basically, it's not like I said I'll work it in, but I would say something like, "Cool, I'll check in a second." Like basically, I'll look for the track in a second. But I already knew I was never gonna look for the track. Sometimes you'll get people who come back, and if they do come back, then I'll just say like, "I couldn't find it," even though I never looked. Some occasions, on some occasions, I would just straight up say like, "No, I'm not playing that." But yeah, I mean, yeah, to me, it's appropriate. Kevin Rogers, have I used BeatSource Locker and how is it? I'm going to use it on Monday. So on Monday, I'll probably do my entire show with just the offline stored tracks. Yeah. Is it bad to hate song requests? No, that's perfectly fine. I would probably say I don't say I hate requests, but I truly dislike requests. And it's been helpful sometimes. I'll explain in a sec. Ego 23, what's going on? And let's see, Lyndon, what up? Any tips on beat match? Oh, I have to scroll. Hold up, I'm losing your question. I'm just looking at the main screen. Hold up. I saw your question here. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Playing on the club standard CDJ 850 setup. Any tips on beat matching? One dropping when used when you're used to the Serato wave screen. Ooh, so you mean that when you normally beat match, you're looking at the waves at the screen? Because that's something I always tell people, like, don't get used to beat matching by lining up the waves in your software. I mean, I know it works, but you don't want to depend on that. Because, yeah, on a CDJ setup, that's going to be a different story. Yeah, so, I mean, you really have to learn how to do that by ear instead of doing it by watching the screen. I think that's the most important thing. That's not going to help you if you have to play there today or tomorrow, but you have to get used to not depend on that screen and really depend on your ears more. That's what I would say. Gio has a question. Do you break artists? Don't quit listening to tracks and play them during sets. Show love. Get love if done respectfully. So break artists, like play brand new tracks from artists. I mean, I've played new tracks. I wouldn't say that made me like break an artist, but yeah, like in the past, I would love to like have the newest tracks, even though the crowd wasn't into that. I would always love to hear brand new tracks, and as soon as I heard a dope track, I wanted to play it as soon as I could. Who here is DJs without headphones? I don't know. Like, if you have a DJ who depends on the screen, you basically could DJ without headphones. But, yeah, no. I need my headphones. I definitely need my headphones. I talked to my dad about, like, how people DJ, and it had me thinking, is it bad to think you're better than someone at DJing, even if it's true? No. I mean, look. It's perfectly normal to have some sort of competitive spirit and actually feel you're better than a lot of DJs. You can have that feeling. That's perfectly fine. And is it bad to think you're better than someone at DJing, even if it's true? Or if it's true, then it's just true. And I mean, I've seen plenty of DJs play, and as a DJ, you'll listen with your DJ ear. And if a DJ is just not good, technically, song selection, you name it, song selection, of course, is more flavor, but just technically is bad, and you'll hear that, then yes, you can hear, like, I can do better than that. And Mood Spin Sound, I feel you, stay humble, but that's not the same thing. Like, confidence does not mean that you can't be humble. So knowing your own worth, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you're constantly like screaming out the window, like I'm the best, and anytime you hear other DJs, you tell other people like, nah, that DJ sucks, I'm better, that's a different story. That wasn't the question. The question was, is it bad to think that you're better than another DJ? That's perfectly fine. Like, honestly, I don't pay a lot of attention to other DJs. I want to focus on myself, not spend too much time thinking about what others do. But there's nothing wrong with having that confidence. And also just knowing, like, I've seen plenty of DJs do like tons of gigs that weren't really good, and I knew I was better. So that also made me realize, like, hey, okay, so it's not all about skill. Nowadays, it's really not about skill most of the times. And it's going to be more about networking, social media presence, and all of that. So knowing your own value, nothing wrong with that. Let's see. George Mike. So, okay, well, Mixmaster G is basically kind of answering it. Like, BeatSource Locker, basically their locker is just their offline storage. And yes, it's like Pulse Locker tried this a bunch of years ago. Unfortunately, they failed. This is the same type of technology, only Beatport and DJ City just have a way better type of archive, and it just allows you with the right subscription to store like 50 or even 100 tracks offline. I think it already worked in Rekordbox. Now it works in Serato. So we were talking about that a bunch of times, like having a streaming service in your DJ software is cool, but I would still also like to have like hard drive, music on my hard drive just in case, because you don't want to depend on an internet connection. But for instance, like coming Monday, I'll do that. Like if I can store 100 tracks offline, that's going to be plenty for me to do a couple of hours of playing. So yeah. Yeah, Mixmaster G, I know they use that tech and built from there. I understand. But like I said, their catalogs are just way better. Yeah. Because Pulse Locker was a good idea when it came out. I was excited when I first heard about it, but then, yeah, it just turned out to be not that great. Mojax did a great video about that back then. Nero, what up? Kenya in the building. If your faders on your mixer are leaking sound in a closed position, we're replacing the faders. Fix this. Sometimes it could be that the fader is just dead and you need a new fader. I've had, like on old mixers, I used to break faders all the time. At a certain point, the scratch mixers became better. So I haven't really had that happen a lot with my later scratch mixers. But in the past with my Vestax mixers, I had to like not constantly replace faders, but I definitely replaced faders on multiple occasions because at a certain point they just started leaking. So that could definitely be the case. Let's see. Where do you suggest to start learning to DJ? Is it better to try through trial and error or taking a class? I don't think there's a better. That depends on the person, Dominique. So, for instance, I never had a teacher, mentor, or anything like that. I taught myself how to DJ. So, I learned by trial and error, but that worked for me because I had a drumming background. Now, I wasn't drumming for years, but I had some drumming experience, and that helped me to already understand counting and the structure of a song, stuff like that, without even knowing that I understood that. But I just noticed that when I started to DJ, that's things that made sense to me automatically because of my drumming background. Now, for some, if you have to start from the very beginning and you don't even have a clue about how to count music and how to do that, then you might need someone to explain that. And luckily, you have YouTube nowadays. So just to promote myself, you can go to my YouTube channel and you're on YouTube watching right now, and just check my mix tutorial series and start there. That'll teach you how to count music and to beat match, and that will send you on your way. Now, of course, you can also take classes if things are really not working out and you feel like, hey, it's not working. I need someone here who can see what I'm doing to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Then classes are perfect as well. Are you only answering questions you see on your main overlay view? Mealy, I'm answering the questions from, yes, so from Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Those are the questions that I'm seeing now. So, I mean, I get questions in my email, but it makes no sense for me to now have my email open here as well, because it's hard enough to make sure that I'm catching everything here. As you see, there's so much happening here already. But you can always ask me questions through email. That email is on my, it's only on my end screen. So I'm not showing that screen yet because we're not there. No, I have not seen Kong, Godzilla versus Kong, but I will definitely check that out in the future. Oh, okay, Mealy. Let me know what you mean then. Sorry. Can you ask if anyone are familiar with the touch effects on the S11? Does anyone know if the effects assignment should has toggle mode? I have the S11 here. I haven't tried that yet. Hey Sven, I saw you. Yes. Yeah. If you're on Monday, I had a new design for crates as well. Basically the same as this, but a different color and the crates logo instead of the share the knowledge logo. So just real quick, in this I can show you here in 1 second. This is the one you have on when I was doing crates. You would see this, but now we're in STK mode. S11 versus the Mark II, the 72. I don't know. I haven't tried the Mark II. I have the 72. Still love that one. I think that's probably a pretty level playing field. I prefer Pioneer's workflow on the mixer. I did my last stream with the 72. Still a great mixer. Love the feel of it, but I'm personally more used to the way the Pioneer layouts are. So media, I don't know about the touch effects. I have to actually check that. Let me just remove that little spammy thing right there. Where is it? Where is it? And sorry, Curtis, I saw your question earlier. The Shure N447 died on Sunday. Just ordered some Tonar N447s. Have you used them? No, I haven't used those yet. So Tonar makes them too. I know Jaico makes a needle. I still need to try that one. But I don't know about this one. No, so I haven't tried it. All right, that's interesting. All right, let me just Lee Robinson, what up? Where was that spam? I just saw that. Let me remove that. Wow, gotta scroll all the way down. Where is it? There you are. Want to become famous? Block. There we go. Get that out of here. Sean Swift, what up? Is there anything I want to do here? No. DJ Roar, what up? Thanks for the follow. Meaty says, when you go to the touch effects, you have to manually apply it to the channel you want every time. Okay. Tony, what's up? Are you going to do any scratching? What, now here? No. No. That is not what this is. This is a Q&A show, just questions and answers. If you want to see me scratch, you got to be here on Monday And when I say here, I don't mean here on YouTube. You'll have to be on Mixcloud or Twitch for that. But no scratching here today. No. I only purchased the Mark II because I first purchased the Brain 12s. I wanted to utilize my S8, but it was very limited to what I could do. I mean, that Mark II, I mean, it's going to be a great mixer, but I haven't tried that one though. A-Sound, what up? Do you stream on the same computer that you're running Serato DJ on? So at first, I didn't do that because I just had a DJ laptop. I had some issues with that laptop. So my last, I think, 3 live streams, mixed live streams, I had Serato running on this studio computer that I also use for streaming. So yeah, that worked just fine for me. So in the last live stream, I was using Serato 2.5, the beta version, with the latest version of Phase, using Phase wirelessly without the RCA connected, while streaming from the same computer. No issues at all. That could handle it with so much ease. Hey, T Run It, what's going on? If you're using S11 touch effects on the fly, it seems to make more sense that you want to usually apply to outgoing tracks. Yeah. Yeah, good one. I have to take a look at that. Yep. James Madison says, how do you stay creative in your crates? So for me, for instance, if we're talking about my live stream on Monday, crates, for that show, since I can do what I want to do, I'm basically just going through my music when I can, and just add a lot of songs that I want to play and haven't played in a while. I mean, there's so much music out there. It's not that hard to stay creative with just different songs. And since I play freestyle, every time is an adventure anyway. So if you're playing freestyle, you have less of a chance to really get stuck in the same thing, because I'm not going off like set playlists that you play multiple times. So I don't really have that issue that much. But yeah, I just make sure I switch out music a lot too. Find a lot of tracks that I haven't played, play them the next time. If you use the same crates every time and you don't have a lot of music in those crates, then at a certain point you're like, okay, I'm mixing the same tracks again. That could get kind of boring. Okay, so Mixmatch G says, on Windows, OBS live streaming and DJing will work. On Mac OS, it's not a good idea. But the discrete GPU kind of causes an issue there. So, okay. Because that's the thing. I am on a Windows system here. So, for me, that works really, really great. Art of PHN, let me see, because the question just went down a little bit. When you're not doing a mix, transition, or scratching, what do you do in the 3 minutes of music? I don't want to do the over-the-top theatrics or pretending to turn dials or switches. Yeah, man. I mean, I always have a good laugh when I'm watching some of these DJs. There's a program on TV here now. I forgot the name for a second. They mostly feature house DJs. Basically, it's like a live stream set, but it's on TV. And they have mostly house DJs doing sets. There's so many of them doing the fake twist, and every time they touch a knob, their hand has to go all the way in the air, so you can clearly see that they're touching the mixer. Makes no sense at all. Half of the time, I can see that they're touching the effect on the channel that's not even playing. Dumb stuff like that. Here's the thing. I never have 3 minutes. I never have 3 minutes. So first off, when I do a mix, so let's say I have one track playing. All right, then while the track is playing, I start to look for the next song, because I'm playing freestyle, so there's no set list. It's not like the tracks are ready. So I start to look for the next song. That's going to take a while. I find a song, load it. Now I have to beat match it. Won't take too long, but that will take me some time. When I have it matched and ready to go, I have it ready, and most of the time during my live streams, you'll see me like adding a couple of subtle scratches with like the first kick of that song. Not really overdoing it, but just a little bit. Also to keep myself in that vibe, but also to add a little bit to that song. Then I wait for the hook to come. I'll mix it in. I'm doing the transition. Halfway through the transition, I might just take all the bass out, add an echo, and start scratching with the outgoing song. Scratch that until the new song, the vocals begin. Then I repeat the process and I look for the next song. Now, if I'm in like a mellow vibe, like I was on Monday, I might let tracks play a little bit longer, but then I also just vibe a little bit longer. And I'm not doing anything special, but I hardly ever have like 3 minutes or even 2 minutes of time. I'm always busy, keeping myself busy. Maybe when I finish my transition and I have the new track playing, first I'll load that same track on the other deck, and then I'll do a little bit of doubling. Time flies. I have way more fun than DJs who have to wait around and do theatrics because they have too much time, because they have a prepared playlist. They're playing music in the same BPM. They hardly have to mix anything because it's ready. Yeah, then you have a bunch of extra time, and then they don't want to stand around. So that's when you start with the theatrics. When you're DJing, you don't really have time for the theatrics, you know? Let's see. Since you're freestyle DJ, do you have a certain amount of songs you aim to have on hand when filling crates? Or do you just kind of make massive crates to pull from? No, not massive crates. Like when I do crates, like for a Monday on crates, I just, I ended up with how many tracks? I ended up using BeatSource. How many tracks are in there? Let me just look that up because I honestly don't know. Let me look that up real quick. Let me grab that window so we can see together. Where is it? Where is it? I need this one, I think. Yeah. So let's go to BeatSource real quick. Like having too much songs never really worked for me because especially when you're playing freestyle, you're going to be scrolling through it, and having more songs in there doesn't help me. It just makes me do way more scrolling. Same thing when I used to bring vinyl. I always brought a lot of vinyl. I would have like 3-4 crates there. That's a lot of vinyl to go through while you're playing. So I actually don't want to have too much in there, but I might want to have a couple of crates ready. Like have a crate maybe with selected tracks that I might play that day. So my crates episode on Monday, I played everything from this one folder, one playlist, sorry, that I made, and that has 71 tracks in there. And I definitely did not play all 71 tracks. So that was an easy way for me to kind of do that. So no, I don't want to have too much. I don't think too much is the way to go. And that kind of works for me. Let's see. So Mealy says, like, what you do in the 3 minutes, make a good selection for the next track. Yeah, exactly. Like I explained, I don't know how long it's different how long it takes me to find my next song, but yeah, like all that time is spent well finding the song, matching the song, playing a little bit with it before I bring it in, doing the transition, so on and so on. Let's see. I missed a bunch of things, I think. Yeah, maybe spend a whole segment about library organization. I'm horrible at library organization, so that's something I still need to do. Rekordbox actually has me hyped up to use that to organize music more, just because of the amount of features you have when it comes to tagging your music and adding information to the songs, so that when you start to create like crates / playlists, there's a bunch of stuff that will make it easier to organize, or different ways to organize, not just by genre, or some people do year, or some people do that, but also like just by energy or by specific parts of the night. I don't know. I've tried different things. Every DJ's probably tried a bunch of different things. I still haven't found my perfect way. So it's an experiment all the time. Let's see. Do you incorporate DJ contracts in your line of business when someone wants to book you? So do you use contacts every time you're being booked? Oh, contracts. Sorry, I misread. All right. So here's the thing. In the scene that I came up in, let's say it started as the hip hop scene, and maybe after that we should call it what they used to call here the urban scene. Hip hop, dancehall, R&B. Our scene was basically the most amateuristic compared to other scenes, and of course here we had like a big house scene. They were way more business than we were, because we hardly had any DJs do anything with like contracts and stuff like that. A lot of people didn't even have like bookers were not like a regular thing, like booking agencies, stuff like that. So I saw that it was different in different scenes. Like my first, I don't know how many years, it was really like definitely no contracts. A lot of times not even invoices. After your gig, you're looking for the person to pay you. Sometimes looking really long, or having to apply some pressure for people to actually pay you. Moving to actually, just for myself at least, a lot of DJs didn't, but for myself at least, being an official business, doing everything with invoices, trying to push more people to go towards like paying me through the bank instead of just cash. But then I saw like in other scenes where DJs would send contracts, would be paid in advance, and like totally different. So I've worked with contracts. I did also notice that at a certain point, when I was trying to be more business, that the people in my scene, like the organizers of events, they weren't really ready for that. So for instance, at a certain point, I started to use a booking agency, and some of the people I used to work with who used to book me didn't really feel comfortable working with the booking agency instead of working with me. I also know that when I wanted to introduce contracts, some of the people actually didn't trust that. They were so used to not working with contracts that they thought that with a contract, I was trying to maybe get certain things done that weren't supposed to happen. I don't know, like they were just not business at all. So I've used contracts sometimes, but it's not something I do standard for my gigs. So I have some experience with it, but in our scene, it's still, I don't know, pretty amateuristic, I have to say. What was that? Cruiser asks, what did he ask? Wait, where's that question? I just saw it. Does BeatSource have a selection like Spotify and Tidal? And does it have a radio edits? So yes, they're adding edits. And a selection like Spotify and Tidal, they have a ton of music. They have a lot of music. Do they have the same amount as Spotify? No, probably not. But they have a lot of music. And they have a lot of music that is really also aimed at DJs. It's there specifically for DJs. And they have a bunch of different curated playlists also. So if you're doing a certain genre that you're not used to, they'll have playlists with tracks from that genre that are made to DJ with. So really like that. Sven, the difference between an active and not a normal speaker, you have active and passive. If you have an active speaker, it basically means that the speaker has an amp inside. So you can connect, let's say you have a DJ set, you can connect the output from your DJ set straight to the active speakers, and they'll give you sound. If you have a passive, what you call normal speaker, you're also going to need an amplifier. So in that case, your output from your DJ set will go into an amplifier, and the speakers will be connected to the amplifier. So in my case, All right. Can I show you this? No, I really can't show you this. I have two sets of speakers here. You're going to have to Google them. I have my Yamaha NS10M studio speakers. Those are reference studio monitors. Those are passive. Those will make no sound at all. I cannot connect like my DJ gear or any gear to them. They have speaker wires going into my Samsung amplifier that is in front of me, and my computer audio is connected to the amplifier. Now, on top of the NS10s, I have two Pioneer RM7 active studio speakers, and those can receive audio straight to them. So there's no extra amplifier needed for that. So that's basically your difference. If a speaker is active, it means you can connect your DJ set straight to it, and it has a built-in amplifier, and it can give you sound. And with like a normal speaker, they need an amplifier. Mixmaster G says, the power of Twitch is community, which means interaction. I don't know what the topic was about, but the interaction here is great. Oh, how do you feel about DJs? How do you feel about DJs talking? Where's the rest of that question? Hold up. Yeah, here it is. How do you feel about DJs talking often on Twitch? Do you think it's possible to talk less or talk at the beginning of the session or towards the end? Or is it a platform that's meant for interactive setting? It's different for different DJs. I can just speak about me. Live streaming is live streaming. It is a live interaction between me and the audience. It is a platform, an outlet that allows me to do exactly what I want to do DJ-wise, but I also want to make sure I'm really actively connecting with my viewers. So my choice is to make sure I acknowledge all of my viewers. So when I see people in the chat, I want to shout them out. Some DJs will go on Twitch or just stream, and to them it's just like, hey, I want to DJ. That whole interaction thing is not really my thing. I just love DJing, and I'm happy to share that with y'all, and they'll just not speak a lot. Perfectly fine too. If you're the audience, it's your choice to see what you like and what you don't like. So if you tune into a DJ and you feel that that DJ is talking too much, then you just don't check that DJ streams. Simple as that. There's plenty of DJs, so you can find what works for you, what you like to listen to. Now, it is my goal to find the best balance that I can find. So I really enjoy the fact that people are watching me, and I know how difficult it is to actually get people to watch you. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge that I see you. And I also know that a lot of people appreciate it. And even I feel that when I check out another stream and I leave something in the chat, and then I get a response from the people that are streaming, I'm like, hey, dope. It's a dope feeling. So I understand that feeling, and I want to make sure I give y'all the love. But like I said, balance. So I'm always trying to find the best places to do that. Now, I'm not going to wait like 3 songs, then play an instrumental, and then do shout outs. That's not real interaction. That's delayed interaction. But I don't want to talk throughout the entire song. So you're trying to find spots within a track that allow you to do a couple of shout outs, especially if you know your music, that you know there's going to be certain lines that you don't want to talk, other places that might be a little bit more open to talk. So again, that's an ongoing, that's also an ongoing, let's say, battle. You're always trying to find the right balance. Also, as a DJ, when you're playing in clubs, you're trying to find that balance between rocking that crowd and getting a lot of your own identity in there. It's all about balance. Yeah, hype man. It makes it more personable as well. I 100% agree. And for me too, because of the fact that I'm paying attention to the chat, you start to notice the names that you see more often, and you start to feel a connection, even though it's just a name. I don't know 99% of y'all at all. With most of y'all, I don't even know what you look like, nothing like that. But I see those same names come by, and when you see a name for the second or third time, you start to feel like, hey, dope, that person is back. So that feeling of interaction is super dope. Same way if you're playing in a club and you see like a couple of people that you saw the last time as well, and they're there to basically support you again. That's a dope feeling. Momo Skills, what up? And DJ Ego says, what are the best turntables? There's no best. That really comes down to preference. So I love my Mark II, but would you recommend it to a new DJ of the price? Your Mark II? Which Mark II are you talking about? Just the SL1200 Mark II? Let me know. Ego, let me know which ones. Because if we're talking about the Technics, I most likely would not recommend the Technics to new DJs just because of the fact that a lot of other turntables just have more options, which I prefer. Let's see, Yours Mike. I'm a straight hip hop DJ. I mean, yeah, I'm a hip hop DJ at heart. I play a lot of different genres, but I mean, that's my blood going through my veins right there, hip hop. But you're a house DJ seeking the ultimate streaming service. Tidal, Spotify. Oops. Where's the rest of that question? See, I need to pay more attention to the stream, to the chat on the side, and not look at the ones that are on screen because it comes by too fast. Okay, so Tidal, Spotify, BeatSource, etc. I'm searching for the largest. I don't know. I would think Beatport would be the best for house music, but I don't use Beatport, so I don't know. I would think they would have the most, and Beatport does have Beatport Link, which works the same way as BeatSource Link. But I'm not sure. It's just not my field of expertise at all. So A-Sound asks, what model of camera you use for the live streams? I use a bunch of different cameras for my live stream. DJ Arabian, salute to you for that follow. So for instance, for this, most of these live streams where I'm just talking, where it's just like a talking head type of live stream, I'm using a GoPro. This is the GoPro Hero 9, and I use that same camera as the front angle when I'm doing my mix streams. Then I have my overview, that eagle eye. That's my Canon M50 camera. Sometimes I use a third camera. That's my old GoPro Hero 5. And yeah, I have my main camera for my YouTube videos is my Panasonic GH4. I used to use that for streaming as well, but the HDMI output on that camera is dead, so I can't use it for streaming anymore. So I just use that for recording. So I'm using a GoPro, or I'm using GoPros, and I'm using a Canon M50. And when I use multiple cameras, I have them all connected to my A10 Mini Pro. That's a video switcher. Do I listen to rock music? So can you define rock music for me? I would have to say, like, no, not really. But what type of rock music are we talking about? Because I know, I mean, I grew up on all sorts of music, so pop music and stuff as well, and heard a lot of music in my days. Hey, John, what's going on? All the way from DC. For example, classic hip hop. Wait. For example, for some sample of classic hip hop about companion to rock, feel me? No, I don't understand. Please try again. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Seeing your tattoos, any DJ tats? Not yet. Yes, some examples about rock. Do you have some examples? What you mean when you say rock music? DJ tat, it will happen one day. It will happen one day. I wanted to do that for a long, long time, but I still have no DJ tattoos yet. Let me scroll here on the side because I think I missed a bunch. So yeah, but Momo Skills, when it came to like the Technics, what I dislike about Technics, and I love the Technics, it's the classic. I still have my SL1200 Mark IIs as well. That all of the cables are connected. You can't take them out. With all the newer turntables, you can disconnect the power cable and RCA cable. So if something breaks, you can just grab a different cable and you don't have to send your turntable away to be repaired. Oh, Rammstein. You call Rammstein rock music? Okay. Okay. No, that's not my cup of tea. Oh, wait a minute. That's Mixmaster G. But Rammstein, would you just call that rock music? Isn't that a little bit more specific than that, I think? I love Technics and Jimi Hendrix on Scratch Power. Hey, I love Jimmy, man. I missed a couple of questions that I have to scroll back to. Let me see. Oh, Hype Man Kelly, I missed that. Yo, see you next time. Let's see. I'll scroll back for a second. I saw like a longer question somewhere, and I think I missed it. Where? Okay, Daniel Peterson is here. Do you think COVID is overhyped on the news by making people more worried than they should be? I feel like people nowadays have become more tense since it all started, and nowadays are overreacting. Have you seen the amount of people that died? No, I don't think this is overhyped. I think they probably should have been more hyped in the beginning, so people would have actually paid more attention and abide to the rules more strictly. We would have had less of a pandemic than we have now. But like the Western countries are just not built for that. Like you see like in the Asian countries where they were more used to this, as soon as it happened and the mask mandate came out and people had to stay home, they listen. Like, we don't do that. Over here, you get, like, people rioting, like, our freedom is being taken away. So it's a little bit harder to get that done here. And that's why they have it under control there a lot faster. And that's why they're open already and we're not. Yo, Reese, I appreciate that. I appreciate that subscription. 3 months in a row. That's love right there. Yes. DJ on the ones and twos. Yes. Just reposted. I think I saw your question about lighting, but yes, it went by really fast. And I just noticed, like, scrolling back, it's still hard for me to find some of the questions back again. So if you can, just repost it, please. How do you feel about DJs knowing the history of music or the industry, like knowing where an artist comes from and what DJ made a certain style or technique popular? It amazes me sometimes when DJs seem to be extremely knowledgeable about everything they're playing. My memory ain't that good. I know people like that as well. I'm not one of those people, even though I think I know a bunch of things. I know DJs that are like walking dictionaries, encyclopedias, whatever you want to call it. Like, they know everything. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, or like they talk about an artist. Yeah, that song, it was recorded in blah blah in that studio in that year. The musicians on that track are blah 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 blah. I can't go that deep. But I love the information, though. I love the information. I love seeing documentaries, but like my memory, I don't know. Yeah, I feel you. I think it's dope. I mean, like, having a little bit of knowledge about what you play and what you do is a good thing. But I mean, I would never expect like anyone to know all of these things, you know? All right. So your question was, what lighting do you recommend for streaming with a green screen, LED or softbox? I don't know if I would recommend one over the other. You would have to first off, you need to check your budget. What's your options? What I do know with green screens, what really is necessary, you need to have good lighting on yourself, and you need to have good lighting on your green screen. So you're gonna need a bunch of lights to make it work well. I mean, soft boxes can be found very cheap. With the LED lights, I don't know how cheap you can find them. So I don't have any specific recommendation. I tried a lot of things over the years. I haven't used green screen in a long time, though. So, yeah, I'm not sure. How often are you changing your controllers out? I've had a DDJ SX2 for a while now, and it might be time to get a new one. Why? Is there anything missing on your SX2? That's the only question you need to ask yourself with equipment. Is anything missing right now? Anything I really need that I can't find on a newer piece of gear? If that's not the case, then you don't need newer gear. I don't really change my controllers out. I mean, over the years, I've had opportunities because of what I do. So I get my hands on new equipment from time to time. And that is dope. That allows me to try out new things. In some cases, you can call it an upgrade, but that's the most important thing. Like I'm blessed to have a bunch of different mixers. You know, I have an S9 and I have a 72. If I only had the S9, it would have been great too. If I only had the 72, it would have been great too. But yeah, it's not like there's anything really missing that makes me get something else. It doesn't happen a lot. So that's the important thing. Like if everything works, and the SX2 is a dope controller, you know? So if there's not anything missing, just rock with that. Like if at a certain point you feel like, okay, I've seen all of these new controllers, they have a bunch more things on there that I really like, that's a great time to upgrade. Let's see. My best in Italy is DJ Gruff. You know? No, don't know him. And Bassi Maestro. Don't know him either. Worldwide, Big L, Mob Deep with Nas, Cypress Hill, Be Real. Yeah, those are all dope. Why did you purchase the S9 over the S11? Well, first off, the S11 was nowhere to be found. I have the S9 since it came out. So there wasn't an S11. If I was to go and buy one of those mixers today, and I had to choose between like an S7, S9, S11, then I would get the S11 if the budget would allow it. If the budget would not allow it, I would get the S7, then the S9. But when I got the S9, there was no S7 or S11. I had that for years now. So that's it. I had the 909. That was my favorite mixer. And at a certain point, I realized I needed something more because I was using my 909 with the SL1 to use Serato, and I was using the Novation Dicers to control everything. And then Pioneer came out with the S9, which was basically all of those things combined in one. Yes. So that was that. And that's the perfect example of like, okay, now it's time to upgrade. Let's see. TLM, are there many big name producers, DJs that you've collaborated with on any level of music? And are you familiar with Rhino out of Paris, France? Rhino, I think I've heard the name. No, I haven't really collaborated with any big producers or DJs. No, not really. I mean, I've DJ'd with DJs. I've opened up for a bunch of big DJs, but that's not like playing with. I did a little bit of a back and forth with DJ Cash Money, which is like basically one of my so quote unquote DJ heroes, like a DJ I really looked up to. We basically did a little back-to-back turntablism thing live on stage in Amsterdam back in the days. I mean, I've collaborated with some artists, like produced for some artists, did scratches on some artists' records, but not like big name producers or DJs. So no, not really. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I have to scroll back a little bit. I see Momo added a lot. And what did Mixmaster G say? Like Scratch Bastard said, that is the cool thing about playing vinyl. Read the sleeve to see who worked on the record. Yeah. I used to do that all the time, like also with vinyl and also with CDs. First thing you do when you buy a CD, take that booklet out, start to read all those credits. Yeah, that was the great way for me to get information too. I always used to do that. Um, and learn something, but I definitely wouldn't remember everything 100%. Yeah, Curtis, Cash Money, like 100%, like super dope DJ. Sven says, when I play for myself only, I'm experimental and I make pretty cool things. But when I play for people, I only can play careful. Is it good? But it could be better. Do you also have this problem? No. No, I'm exaggerating. I think we all deal with that to a certain degree. When you're at home playing by yourself, you can be as experimental as you want to be. When you're playing in a venue, you've been booked to rock that crowd. Um, it's it's tricky to be like just super experimental and still please the crowd, because a lot of times you're just dealing with people who are not used to a lot. Unless you're a DJ who's well known for doing the craziest experimental stuff, and everyone in that venue came there to see you. If that crowd is really there for you, you can be really experimental. Um, but if it's a normal club night, they came to dance, drink, have fun, whatever. They want to hear the hits. I always try to get that balance in there where I'm playing all of the tracks they love, but also like really showcasing my style in there, and be a little bit experimental from time to time, but like with moderation. Do you have use or ever use 4 channels, and how would you utilize the extra channels? Um, there's no, because I've heard a lot of DJs say there's no need for 2 extra channels. Yeah, I'm a 2 channel DJ. Yeah, I mean, I've done stuff with 4 channels where I may have had something play on one, and no, let me rephrase. I've had a situation where I would have like, I would play songs on 2 decks, and on the other 2 decks I would have like just sounds ready so I could scratch with them at any time. But that's more the decks than the actual channels on the mixer. No, I'm not a 4 channel guy at all. So I understand. Like, it's cool to have it, but in most cases when I used an extra channel, it was just because I had like an extra device connected. So for instance, we would play with turntables, but we would also, like back in the days, so we were playing with vinyl, but we would also have like a CD player that was like a Pioneer 500 top loader CD joint. We would have it there because we were finding new tracks online that weren't available on vinyl yet. We would burn a CD and then play those tracks from CD. So in that case, we had 4 devices, but I was still basically playing 2 tracks at a time. I find friendly backyard parties a place to try experimental stuff. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yep. So here we go. Like Mixmaster G has a good example. Like if you're, let's say for instance, you're playing like loops. You got a beat loop going, and maybe you got an acapella going on the other side, and then you want to add maybe an extra sound from a third record. Then more channels becomes interesting. But otherwise, like for my style of DJing, it's hardly necessary to have more than 2 channels. Uh, do you know Sangue Misto? I don't think so. No, no, I don't think so. Mm, let's see, what was there? Is there anything else here? No. My preferred artist when it comes to hip hop, not one. I listen to a lot of different artists. I don't have a favorite. I'll have a favorite of the moment if I'm really into an album, and I'll listen to that for a while, and then when something new comes out, that will be on repeat for a while. That will happen a lot, but like, I don't have one favorite. There's just too many. Next one with Zulu Nation. Maybe I've heard that track actually. That's a possibility. Uh, so like Lario's, yeah, like having 4 channels for back to back could be cool as well. Indeed. Um, But like for myself, if I'm playing solo, like I hardly ever use more than 2, indeed. Jazzy Lamel, what up? I can't decide which mixer to get. Rain 72, 70, or S11. Can you help? Nope. No. That's going to be your choice. Like, you really have to take a look. Okay, so what mixer do you currently use? No, DJ on the ones and twos. You just can't say that. You just really can't say that. Like, you're not wrong that the S11 is a great mixer. But you can't say that that will be the best mixer for Jazzy Lamel. I can't say that either. That's the thing. So, for instance, like I just explained, like for me, I prefer the workflow of Pioneer mixers. So if I had to choose between an S11 and a 72, for me, the S11 would be the logical choice. The 72 is great. I don't have an S11. I have a 72. I DJed with it 2 days ago. It's still a super dope mixer. That's why I'm asking now what mixer Jazzy Lamel is currently using. So if Jazzy is currently on a Pioneer mixer, then I would think that having the S11 would most likely be the best option because you're in that same vibe. If Jazzy is currently on a Rain mixer, that might be a better pick. So, yeah. Because they are all great mixers. Let's make no mistake about that. They're all great mixers. But if we're going to compare mixers with a screen, then, of course, you got your S11 and your 72. Now, I haven't used the Mark II. I just have the Mark I. But, so right now, you have the DJM 800. Okay, Pioneer. I'll go for the S11. Simple as that. You're used to Pioneer. You're used to the Pioneer onboard effects. You're going to be more comfortable probably with an S11. Yeah, that's what I would say. But you cannot go wrong with one of those Rain mixers either because they're great mixers. But if you're on a DJM 800, you're used to that Pioneer feel, then the S11 is a little bit closer to that than the Rain because the Rain it has a little bit of a different look to it. Certain things are just a little bit different. Even though you are going from a club mixer to a scratch mixer, so that's going to be a difference anyway. But I would stick with the Pioneer family. It would be awesome if you could rent a mixer for a month or so. Maybe there's a shop. You have rental companies, most definitely. Look, there's a lot of events get organized that are just not club and venue type of events, but just let's say people have a little bit of a larger type of garden party, and they want to have like an actual DJ there. They book a DJ. They'll have to rent equipment a lot of times. You have rental companies. They rent to anyone. So, yes, it's possible to rent a mixer. So let's say that you want to try a mixer out for a while. Like now, renting for a month is a different scenario than what they normally do. But you never know. Maybe there's a deal that can be made. It all depends on how much they normally charge for renting. But there are companies who offer that. Like a normal store would probably not rent you a mixer that they would have to sell after that because then they can't sell it for the normal price anymore. But yeah. Let's see. Corey Bright, the best advice for DJing outside when it's hot so that your equipment won't overheat. Look, if you're out in the open, you need to find some way to get like a bit of cover over that setup. You can't be in the full sun. I mean, I've DJed in the full sun. It works for a while, but you need to find some way to have a little bit of shade on your equipment. Like I've been in a situation with real vinyl where I was on a beach in Aruba playing, and I could see my vinyl just change shape in front of me while it was on the deck because the sun was so hot. So they had to find me some cover because I was like, yo, I'm losing my vinyl here. You could actually just I could see my vinyl just go from perfectly flat to being all messed up by the heat. So yeah. Shade. DJ 69 Zoom, what up? I've got a DJ M600. Is that good for scratching? I wouldn't call it good. Yes, you can scratch with a 600. I've done a ton of club gigs with the 600 before we had like the newer mixers that we have now, like the 800s, 900s, stuff like that. We rocked on 500s and 600s, and I was scratching with that. It will not have the same type of fader as an actual scratch mixer, but you can definitely scratch with that. Like the scratches that require you to have like a really sharp curve on the crossfader, those are going to be a little bit harder to do with a mixer like that. But a ton of scratches can definitely be done on a 600. So if you really want to get into scratching, you're better off getting a scratch mixer. So if it's important to you, if you really want to do more scratching, then the scratch mixer is going to feel a lot better. But you can scratch on the 600. Joseph, what up? Between the Rain 1 and the DDJ 1000 controller, which one would you recommend? That's a funny thing. I've seen quite a few videos online also. I haven't watched them, but I just seen them come by of people comparing a Rain 1 and a DDJ 1000. To me, it's on one hand a really weird comparison, but I can't really say that because I've done a video about the SZ versus the NS7 Mark II. The reason why those comparisons don't really make a lot of sense is those two are a different ball game. You have motorized platters and you have jog wheels. That alone will make the entire decision for me. I'll continue on that question in a second. And yes, DJ 777, you need some shade for yourself as well. You need to have a hat or whatever. Otherwise, you are in a little bit of danger yourself as well. Mood spin sound, the S7 over the S11. For me, no. For people who do not need, if the screen, because let's be honest, if you're talking about a 72 or an S11, it's the screen. If you don't need the screen, I've seen a lot of people say that, they'll get the 70. If you're on Pioneer, you don't need the screen, you can get that S7. So that S11 or the 72 is only if you're into that screen. And if you are into that, then yes, you get the S11. If that's not important to you, then the S7 will give you so much as well. So that's the major difference. But yeah, so for instance, if I had to choose between a Rain 1 and a DDJ 1000, that doesn't cost me a second to think about. The DDJ 1000, not the SRT, but the normal one, is my favorite controller with jog wheels. But if I have to choose between a controller with jog wheels and a controller with motorized platters, that's not even a choice for me. That's motorized platters all day, every day. But that's for me. For a lot of you, motorized platters might not be what you need. Motorized platters are great for people who want to have that turntable feel on a controller. Same reason why people got the NS7 like I did. Same reason people will get the Rain 12 like I have here. It gives you kind of that vinyl feel. And I used to love my NS7, so even without trying the Rain 1, I know I'll love the Rain 1. But that's because turntables are my favorite weapon. I want the motorized platter, so that will win any time. If that's not for you, then a DDJ 1000 might be a way better option. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's why I find it really hard to, let's say, compare those two. But again, I made a video myself about the SZ when that first came out, and I made a video comparing the DDJ SZ to the NS7 too. Just because they were like the two flagship controllers from those brands. But one was motorized platters and the other one was normal jog wheels. So yeah. Do you need an Apple laptop or could it get anyone? No, you don't need an Apple laptop. You don't. But don't get anyone. Get one with the right specifications. I always say that. Make sure you check out all of the stuff you want to do on that laptop. Go to the website, see what is recommended. What do you need? And get more than that. If it says you need 8 MBs of RAM, or 8 MB, you need 8 gigs of RAM, you get 16. If you need 256 of memory, you get at least 512, or stuff like that. But then, second of all, make sure you look at build quality as well. If the laptop is strictly for at home, build quality is not as important. But if you want to move around with the laptop, make sure you get something that has good build quality. Hey, Gio, the NS7 is just still a great device. Yeah, it's just super heavy. It is. So Pioneer did some of the DJs wrong by offering an affordable mixer, the S7, after many paid more money on the S11. No, I have to kind of disagree with that, because the S11, S7 is not the same thing. The S11 offers more. Not just the screen. I believe some things are, Mojax tested it. He says the phono amps on the S11 are even better than the ones on the S7. But you get more. You do get more. Some things are different on those mixers. So I don't call that doing DJs wrong. So of course you're always gonna have people that are like, hey, damn, I already bought this and now you bring out that. But overall, for us, the customer, it's just dope that they added another mixer to the lineup that's actually more affordable than the S9 was, offering more than the S9, just not as much as the S11. So yeah. I like it. G-Funk Mix says 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte solid state hard drive, and you're good. Yeah. And like I said, if you add some good build quality to that, then you're good to go. Now, if you want to do more than DJing, if you also want to do like video stuff, then you have to start to take a look at the GPU, the video card as well, the graphics card. But if it's for DJing, that's where it starts. Get enough RAM, a good amount of storage, SSD drive, 100%. Don't get anything else. No regular hard drive, spinning disk hard drives, and good build quality. Thank you for the tip last week about the fingertip moistener. I didn't give that tip, right? Someone talked about specific stuff for that, right? And macro PC, be sure to turn off everything that isn't necessary. Remove bloatware. Yeah, that can help as well. I think Pioneer did people wrong with the DDJ 1000 SRT and put out a firmware update for the original. Wait, I missed that. What happened there? Yeah, I still love the 909. 1000%. Yeah, Monday. Someone gave that tip about that, about the fingers. I remember that. I forgot who it was too. Choman, what up, Choman? Is it good to buy a Flex 6? I don't know. For some, it is definitely. If you're currently on an entry-level controller, something like, if we're talking about Pioneer, if you're on like a DDJ 200 or 400, and you want something that offers you a bit more, but you don't have the option to go for like a major upgrade all the way to like a DDJ 1000, then the Flex 6 fits in there nicely. It's like a Flex 6 is a step up from the 400, but it's not all the way there like a 1000. So for some, that is a great upgrade. For others, it's not. So I can decide if that's going to be good for you. So it depends on what you have now, what your budget is, and what you're looking for in a controller. And yeah, that's it. DJ Sax, what up? So what happened? 777. I'm trying to understand. So first Pioneer released the DDJ 1000. Then at a certain point, they released the SRT for Serato. And they didn't put a firmware update out. Oh, so they didn't put a firmware update out for the original. So what is the original 1000 now running behind? Is there something it can do and that the SRT can do? Because I think I missed out on that. Big V says, I think you'd be better off with the DDJ SX3. You can find them for about the same price. So if you can find an SX3 for the same price as a Flex 6, then that might be a better option. But I think it depends on what people are looking for. Yeah. Do you use key lock during your sets? Yes, I do. Key lock doesn't make scratching sound dope. Well, here's the thing. Like in the past with Serato, when you use their key lock, it was just horrible. Their master tempo, their key lock was pretty horrible. At a certain point, they came with that. You could get that update where you could use the what's it called? Not the normal key lock, but the better version. Damn, I made a video about that. It's years ago. You have the option to get a better version, and that one works really well. I basically always have key lock on when I'm using Serato, and works pretty well for me, I have to say. I'm trying to check something real quick because I forgot the name. I don't know why, but I did. The pitch and time is what it's called. So I'm using pitch and time, the expansion. So not the normal key lock, but the pitch and time key lock for Serato. I made a video about that a long time ago, showing the difference between their normal key lock and the pitch and time version. Miles apart. It worked so much better than their normal one, especially when you like slowed it down. You could really hear the difference. Yes, Serato close. I had to open Serato real quick to see. Forgot the name. God's Own. I'm still getting Q drift on my phase. DVS Essential. Do you still have that with the latest firmware and Serato versions? Well, I actually never really had the Q drift issues, and I still don't. And I have heard a lot of DJs say that since that last update that they didn't have the Q drift anymore. So yeah, I'm still wondering what actually causes that. If for some it might be actually something more within the computer and the software compared to actually phase itself. I'm not sure. So for instance, the same thing, like the DJ laptop I use, it like could not handle the newest version of phase with the beta Serato to use them wirelessly without the RCA. It just did not work at all when it's working perfectly from the studio computer. So in that case, I know it's not phase and it's not even the Serato beta, it's the computer. So yeah. The DJ 1000 is for Rekordbox only. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's why they came out with the SRT. That's the Serato version. But I still don't quite understand what's dirty about that. How Pioneer did us dirty with that. Jazzy Lamel, it's a great question. I'm still not sure. Maybe, and I just don't know, maybe people like D Nice and Jazzy Jeff have had their channels white flagged. That is an option. If you've been white flagged by labels, it means that when the content ID system on YouTube runs, it basically tells them that this channel has the permission to use the music. I have no idea if that's the case with those DJs, but I just know that for a lot of my last streams on YouTube, they've been taken down. I receive an email then, and they'll tell me that they've taken it down. They won't tell me which specific song cost the stream to be taken down. But for instance, my old YouTube channel is now, I've now received an official like warning, I can't upload or stream to that YouTube channel for a week. And even when I look in Restream and I want to maybe use that channel, it actually tells me like, hey, this YouTube channel is not in good standing. So, yeah. And some DJs I see stream there all the time, and I can see like a bunch of their streams in the replay. So I don't know what it is. Dunsky says my phase won't work without RCA. I think it's because of my setup. I have the Pioneer X2 controller, two 1200s hooked up to it. Still trying to figure out the issue. The wireless mode doesn't show up in the drop-down list. Okay, let's see. But you're on the SX2, but you do have the DVS expansion, I assume, if you're using two 1200s with it. Because if the wireless is not showing, and you are on Serato 2.5, right? Will YouTube allow an upload of a music mix or clips from a previous stream? DJ on the ones and twos, that's the thing. You can upload and you have to see what happens. So with a lot of music, they'll just tell you like, hey, there's a copyright issue, but you don't have to do anything. In that case, they're going to run ads over your video, and the people who own the rights to that music will make money off your video. With some of the other videos, some of the other music, the labels have said, no, we won't allow it. So sometimes I'll get an email and they'll tell me like, hey, this stream has been blocked in certain countries. Some labels do that, and then it won't get shown in Syria, Iran, and a couple of countries. Then I noticed that with some Jay-Z tracks that if I had them in there, then they just blocked the entire stream. And now I've had two streams that just were stopped midstream, and now I've received actual warnings. So it's so different. And yes, Geo has a very good point as well. I'm in Europe. There might be a stricter copyright thing. I'm really unsure because they're not totally clear. Like I said, with the last time they took my stream down, they're not even telling me which stream it is. Like if I get a normal email from them about the copyrights, it shows me which song and which label and if I have to take any action or not. But with the streams that were taken down, they only tell me I violated the policy, but they won't tell me which actual song caused that. Naved, what up? How long did it take you to nail the crab scratch? Oof. I don't remember. I just remember practicing it a long time. And at a certain point, it just started to sound better and better. But I have no idea. Does that also work with streaming through Mixcloud? Does what work? I mean, Mixcloud is safe. Mixcloud is all safe, all good. You can just stream to that all day. That will not get taken down. And you will get the option to do an audio replay. Not a video replay, just an audio replay. Twitch will allow to stream, but as you can see, like I have my last stream, I haven't taken it down yet. I think like 85% of the replay is muted because of copyrights. But Mixcloud has officially licensing deals with the labels. So they have the right to do that. So you don't have copyright issues, and the artists can actually make a little money off your stream on Mixcloud as well. So it's the safest place. They just don't have the community vibe that Twitch has right now, and they need to fix certain things to play along better. Because the same thing here now, in this chat right here, I can see everything from if someone's on Facebook, if someone's on YouTube, if someone's on Twitch, but you cannot add Mixcloud, so I can't see that. I have to open a separate window, which I actually didn't do today. I forgot to see what's happening on Mixcloud. So yeah, but as far as copyrights, that's the thing. G-Funk says I nailed the crab scratch in 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be. I mean, the thing is, if you're already into scratching, the crab scratch really isn't the most difficult technique to do. It looks more difficult than it is. But knowing the technique and applying it the right way, in a funky way, that's a different story. Do you mic up through an external mixer? I've heard that's a good option for voiceless replays. I don't do that now, but it is an option. The only thing I don't like about that now So what I could do, for instance, when I do my mix streams, I could have the mic connected to, for instance, the Rødecaster Pro like I have now. Send that to OBS. And then just send the audio from my mixer to the ATEM Mini Pro into OBS as well. And during the stream, you'll hear it. You'll hear both the music and the hosting. But I could actually have a recording of just my music and use that for a replay. I just like to hear myself when I'm talking. I like to be able to hear the mix of the music and the mic. And I have to have my headphones in the mixer because I need to do mixes. I need to cue my songs. If I want to hear the microphone, but the microphone is going into my Rødecaster, I can't listen to that. So I would then have to make the choice to say, like, okay, my mic will be on. I know it's working. I can see that it's working, but I won't be able to hear myself. It's a less comfortable feeling for me. Plus, the thing is as well, when people listen to the replay, on the one hand, I'd rather have them actually hear it as it was because it's a live interactive broadcast. It's not a mixtape. I want them to truly understand the live feel of the actual event. So I think I still prefer to have it with the hosting in there. But yeah, I will experiment with that in the future as well, just to listen back to one of those mixes without the hosting and see, okay, do I like this or not? But there are options to do that. And yeah, G-Funk made a great point. Like it's about constant practice. Like if you focus on that one thing, like, hey, this is what I'm going to focus on, the crab. Then for some, it'll come easy. But hey, every scratch is different for everyone. Some people will have a lot of trouble with a scratch that's easy for you, vice versa. Okay, let's see. I think I saw a question come by that's already gone now. Let me see. Corey, I don't know about that question with the wireless microphones. I couldn't say honestly. And Mike Shaw was good. I don't know if I saw you already, but salute, or maybe salute again. I honestly forgot if I shouted you out already or not. And Dunsky, I'm not sure about with that setup if it not showing up, why that's happening. So I think 777 said something about that too, right? So maybe that will help, like linking them again with the long press. I'm not sure. Okay, so it worked for 777. So definitely try that. See, that's what I love about the chat. It's not just about me. This Share the Knowledge live thing is not just about me. It's also about you, because some of you will see a question in the chat and just know, like, hey, I actually experienced that. Share that. We can all help each other out. That's a lovely thing. Slum Beautiful, I'd scroll back up for that question. What are some good headphones for beginner DJs? Wow. I would have to say any headphones that will make noise. Like, honestly, I have no idea what headphones I used in the beginning anymore. I don't think they were memorable. I just needed something to be able to monitor my sound and cue up the next record. I really had no care for what it was. Also, like, I think it becomes more important when you actually go out to play. You're going to be in an environment where there's more loud noise, and you have to really have headphones that have enough volume, or if you prefer a headphone that can kind of shield you from outside noise. It all depends on what's your preferred way to play. But if you're just DJing at home, I would not spend too much money on headphones. Now, headphones having a nice amount of volume is always cool. So I see OG Mix showing here, recommending the AKG K175. I haven't used that one yet. I mean, I'm a big AKG fan. They have like super high-end quality stuff, but they also offer like cheaper headphones. The 175. I actually think I do know that one. I think I've actually used that one. I think so. Wait a minute. DJ Cobra, what up? What is that? What? No, they're not here. Yeah, I think I've used those. I'm actually using AKGs right now, but these are not DJ headphones. These are the Q701s studio reference headphones. But like I said, it's not that important. So if you already have headphones at home, you can start with those. If you feel there's something missing from them, then you can take a look and see what else is there. Dunsky says, I noticed a lot of turntablists hamster scratch. Which do you prefer, regular or hamster? Is one better than the other? No. I prefer regular because that is normal to me. That is how you DJ. Don't take that out of context. I'm not saying that you're not DJing when you do it the other way, but it is the logical thing that if you're using a mixer and you have a deck here and a deck here, that if you to open up this deck, but now you have to do a scratch where you have to start in the open position and close it, and somehow that doesn't feel right for you to do it that way, and you hamster it, and now it feels more natural. For some people that works, that some scratches feel more natural. My brain is not made for hamster scratch either, even though I know there's like one or two scratches that I can't do really well on one side, and in hamster it works for me. But I've never wanted to go the route that I had to like switch between hamster and normal in the middle of sets. So I understand the use for it, but you can't say it's better. And yeah, it's a personal preference thing. Yeah. I need to check the gate on this. It closes too much. Big V says, "Do you have pitch? Since you have pitch and time, do you ever use tone play?" Hardly. I think that's something that would happen more if I would do like routines. Skoljo says, "Look at the Pioneer DJ Q1s. I've heard good stuff about those too, and they're not that expensive." Like tone play is something I might implement if I do a routine, like work out a set, and that there would be something that would be dope to do with actual tone play. Even though I have to say, like I hate it when a lot of DJs do tone play because they don't do it right. That's that's my brain. That's my ears. I can't really handle it. I just saw another one on IG yesterday, and it's funny. I guess it's me because I see a lot of people praise it. What I don't like about tone play is when people will take a sound, then they'll play that sound in a bunch of tones to play a melody. And of course, I recognize the melody, but at the same time, I can hear that it's in the wrong key. But that's okay. But of course, like what everyone does when they do the tone play, they'll play a little melody and then they'll switch to the track where the melody's from. And what happens like 90% of the times is the melody they were playing is in the wrong key. So when they switch to the original song, my brain just, I don't like it because they're not playing it in the right key. And if they would continue to play that over the original track, you could hear how the tones would clash. Sometimes you see DJs do tone play and they play, and you can hear like it's the right key, and they can actually like then bring in the other track, continue to play, and it sounds dope. I love that. But most DJs who do time play are basically doing it kind of lazy. It's not that hard to take a tone in different keys and then uh, play something that will recognize it. Oh, hey, that's that melody. Um, let's see, New Jazz. What to do if height adjustment won't turn anymore? On turntables, right? I've had those turntables like you're trying to twist it and it doesn't move. I don't know. Maybe it needs a little drop of oil somewhere in there to make that work again. I'm not sure. Most of the times that happened to me, I was actually at a venue, so I didn't have time to fix that, and I played with it the way it was and never saw it again. Um, Reese, does the Rødecaster Pro have reverb, delay, and echo? No, no. So you have a bunch of audio processing in here. So when I go to the processing for my channel, you can change a bunch of things. So you have your high pass filter. Well, you can't actually see, but I'll just tell you. You have a high pass filter. You have your noise gate. You have a de-esser. You have a compressor. And then they have their Apex oral exciter, which basically adds a bunch of high frequencies. So that is the audio processing you can do within the unit. But no reverbs and echoes are not in there. No. So I do have to commend Røde because they've been killing it with the updates. So I have the Wireless Go 2 and their transmitter receiver set with 2 transmitters and 1 receiver for microphones. And they just added an update where now you can have those transmitters not even activate the receiver and record directly on the transmitters. So basically you now have 2 standalone field recorders. Super dope. And they added a new app that you can use to change all sorts of stuff on it. Then they came with the Rødecaster Pro update that it now has the MIDI capability. So now you can connect it to a computer and control OBS, which is super dope. And I also have the Røde NT USB Mini, their USB microphone. And now they came out with a new update for that yesterday where they released free software for your computer, Mac and Windows, that now allows you to connect it and gives you like a bunch of extra stuff there where you now have noise gate and the oral exciter and stuff like that. Also, I love it when companies like give you a product. I mean, they sell a product and then make it better and better by constantly pumping out these updates. So you have something, and now that something can do more than it could do yesterday. And they did that like in a couple of weeks, one after the other. Yeah, the MIDI function, Reese, like I said, like just being able to do that. I have my beginning screen now. Like I wanted to experiment with scenes in OBS, but I never really got to it because I was streaming. I'm DJing. I have my ATEM Mini Pro. I switch cameras. I'm not gonna walk to the computer to switch scenes while I'm DJing. But in my last stream on Monday, I just had this right next to me, and now I can just switch scenes. So now you can add more. So while I'm DJing, I can switch and go to a different scene, add some more information. So now, of course, I switched the images to share the knowledge. But I did the same thing with crates. So on Monday, I had these scenes. So you could see this one, and same thing here. Where is it? With this one, I can do the same thing. See, there's a little bit of difference in the information to suit the stream that I'm currently using. But yeah, I mean, to me that's amazing. Same thing. I gotta end each one, but to be able to control that just like this, yeah, super dope. Yeah, Reese. I mean, I don't really think I would use something like echo or reverb for a Rødecaster. Like I would use it for voiceovers and for podcasting, And I personally don't see the use for having an echo or reverb on my voice. Like a lot of times you're going to be in a room, there's already going to be reverb there. But then again, there's all sorts of applications for the device. So yeah, having more stuff in there could only make it better, of course. Where do you normally buy most of your music? DJ pools, like DJ City is my DJ pool. So that's where music comes from. And besides that, I'm using BeatSource a lot, but I don't buy my music on BeatSource. I just have a subscription and use BeatSource link. I don't buy a lot of music, to be honest. Like that doesn't happen a lot nowadays. I have my DJ pool and BeatSource. If there's anything I feel like I need, I can always go get it, but I can buy it on BeatSource or Apple Music or wherever. Every now and then I might buy some vinyl if I run into it, but hardly. G-Funk Mix, do I set cue points on all my tracks? That's my goal, even though I hardly get to it. So a lot of times when you see me during my live streams, you see me actually set cue points while I'm playing. That's another thing that also takes up a little bit of time for me that I don't have to spend on theatrics. I'll find a track, and when I find a track I want to play, I load it. If it doesn't have cue points, I'll at least set the cue point at the beginning and maybe one or two more, and then I do my beat matching and go and take it from there. But yes, I prefer to have my cue points on my tracks. A lot of times, they're just not there yet. Yeah. So salute to you, by the way, Andrea, for the question about music. And let's say what was that? Use a hair dryer? Where was that? Use a hair dryer on the height adjustment to loosen it. The grease can harden after some years. Cruiser, yeah, that's dope. I like that. The only thing is the times it happened to me, I was actually in a club. So I didn't have a hair dryer or anything on hand to make that work. But I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, that I believe you're absolutely right about that. Okay, G-Funk, respect. You have 10K tracks all queued. Yeah, levels. I'm not there yet. Those are definitely goals. That's great. What time is it? Okay, it is 10:30, past 10:30 over here, PM. I think I'm going to call it a day for now because I still have some work to do, and I got to get up early in the morning to do the school thing and then go back to record some stuff. So I'm going to actually hit this. Thank you for telling me. Let me add that right. And now we have audio on the end screen. Thank you. Yeah, Jersey Mike, salute to you as well. Yeah, I needed to add that. So anything happening on Twitch? Let me see. Anyone here? Hey, I saw someone talking about Italy. I see the homie Damianito is live on Serato right now. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go take a look there. That is the dope DJ from Italy. Red Bull 3 style beast. So why not take a look there? I think that would be a cool one to do. Divine Justice, salute to you for that follow. Yeah, I think that could be a nice one. We could go check out we can go check out Serato. Shall we do that? I think that's a good one. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. They're just Serato, right? So come join us. Let's take a look at DJ Damianito on Twitch right now. Let's see what's going on over there. I don't know how long that set it's been running, but it's up there. So thank y'all for tuning in. Check me out when you can. Back on Sunday, back on Monday. Much love, y'all.